b1t may not need any help. Look at the precision! Oh!
This is b1t from Nada's Vincere. He has one of the highest headshot percentages in the pro scene, and that's quite an impressive stat considering he's beating out players like Twists, Donk, and even Nico. Today, we're going to be going through the 3 core skills b1t has mastered, and after that, I'm going to show you a training routine that, if you stick to, is guaranteed to improve your headshot aim. So let's get into it. First of all, b1t has insane spray control, and you don't normally think about spray control when it comes to getting headshots, but b1t has a really unique way of spraying where he centers his spray to the head. So what does that look like, and why does it even matter? Well, normally people try to initially go for the headshot and then transfer their spray to the body to try and get the kill. b1t does things a little differently. Instead of spraying to the body, he tries to track his spray to the opponent's head. This is pretty difficult to do since you have a much smaller target to work with, but if you master it, you will be confirming kills a lot faster. Getting 1 headshot during a spray is way faster than getting 4 to 5 body shots with a spray. This is something I've seen other pros do as well, but b1t is definitely the pro that does this the most, and it's probably part of the reason why his headshot percentage is so high. b1t is also incredibly good at spray transfers, and you will see him getting 6 spray transfers way more often than you would expect. This is one of the huge benefits of getting really good at spray control. You can multi-kill way easier, and if you learn to spray to the head, you are probably getting multi-kills really quickly as well. Something you'll notice about b1t is that his aim is usually very steady, and he likes to take his time to ensure he hits an accurate shot. We've actually made an entire video about smooth aim, which you can check out later, but the basic summary is that you want to take your time on shots, especially when you know you have time. A lot of players make the mistake of just shooting as soon as they see anything on their screen, and they don't really take the time to line up the shot first. Practicing making these micro adjustments is something we'll talk about later in the training portion of this video, but just know that is an extremely important aspect of getting headshots in CS2. Another aspect of smooth aim is just making a direct path from your current crosshair position to your opponent's head. Not making a curve or any zigzags, just making a straight line. And you'll see b1t is really good at doing this. He doesn't make any wasted movements with his crosshair, and this again is something that we'll be able to train later on. Obviously, the most important aspect of CS2 is crosshair placement. And again, we have another video on this that you can check out later, but let's talk specifically about how b1t uses crosshair placement to his advantage. First of all, there's normally 2 different types of situations you're going to end up using crosshair placement for. The first is when you are holding an angle, basically waiting for someone to peek you. And the second is when you are the one peeking an angle. Both of these are very important to master if you want to get good at CS2. So let's look at how b1t does it. First of all, if we look at how b1t clears these angles on A site from Palace, you'll notice just how methodical he is about clearing every single common angle. This is an excellent example of pre-aim, and luckily for us, is something that every single player can learn to get good at. It's easy to train, and once you get really good at it, you will be able to beat almost anyone holding an angle that you're peeking. Obviously, if you are holding an angle, the main thing you need to think about is, how is my opponent going to peek me? Are they going to wide swing, shoulder peek, or crouch peek? And you can see how b1t adjusts his crosshair position depending on the movement of the opponent. And this takes longer to get used to, but once you get used to it, it becomes a lot easier to manage. So now you know why b1t has such a high headshot percentage, but how can we train our aim to be just like b1t's? Luckily, we have a solution using Refrag. Refrag is a training platform which analyzes your games and assigns personalized training using our in-game modes. It's like having your own personal CS2 coach. If you want to try out Refrag, you can use the code HEADSHOT15 to get 15% off your subscription. So now let's hop into the training. We're going to start with crosshair placement since it's the fundamental skill of Counter-Strike. To train this, we're going to be using Refrag's pre-fire mode. Refrag pre-fire is kind of like a pre-fire map, but it's way better. We use randomized spawns as well as an elo-based difficulty level to ensure that you are always improving and being challenged. In a real game, enemies are not going to be sitting in the exact same positions every single time, so using randomized spawns is way more accurate to real game scenarios. After we finish up some pre-fire, we're going to move on to Refrag's crossfire mode. This game mode is our signature mode and is one of the most effective ways to train crosshair placement as well as micro adjustments. Again, Refrag will automatically adjust the difficulty level to always give you a challenge. Try to focus on accuracy in this mode and speed up gradually once you get used to it. The final mode we're going to use is Refrag's spray transfer mode. This is the best way to train your spray in CS2. Think about how often you see two stationary targets not shooting back at you in a real in-game scenario. It's not very often, so why would we train our spray transfers like that? In this mode, the bots will peek you just like they would in a real game scenario. These spray transfers are actually going to happen, and using this game mode, we can train this skill the best way possible. Again, Refrag will handle any difficulty adjustments so you can make sure that you are always improving. Well, that's the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, check out Refrag using the link in the description below. Thanks for watching, and peace out.